respected chief guest of today's function, the 11th National Conference at SMK Fomra, and our beloved correspondent, respected HODs, staff teaching and non-teaching, my dear students who have come all the way to SMK Fomra to present your papers, and students of SMK Fomra. A very good morning to you all. A pleasant morning, I think it can also be wished as a knowledge sharing morning, which should end with a knowledge sharing day. So this is the aim of the conference. I think Jay Patel has rightly said that this is a platform where we create or facilitate for you to share your ideas and learn more. So let me start with my experience of conference when I attended for the first time. It was, I used to have a thought like only when you do a research you need to go for a conference. This was what was prevailing earlier because it was a long time back. My guide who was in Vizag, I was in Chennai and he was in Vizag, and he was the founder of telecommunication department in Andhra University. So Professor Madhusudan Rao, I am very proud to tell his name because he is, just because of him I am here right now, whatever I am. So he just called me like, you have to come for the conference in Geetham University. It's an international conference. You will have some awareness, you will get some experience. I just travelled all the way from Chennai to Vizag in the bus, and you cannot sleep in the bus. So I thought, okay, next day I'm going to just witness the conference. I'm going to see the conference. I can relax and come back. So as soon as I reached, he said, your session is the next, you came late and you are the next speaker. I said, what speaker? I don't know anything about the presentation part and all. I thought I can just come see the conference and go. He said, no, you have to speak. I said, I'm not ready with the PPT. He said, I'm ready with your PPT. So this is how I was fortunate enough to get a guide who was great enough to even prepare my PPT for my presentation. And I said, no sir, it's impossible. I have not gone through the slides and I will not be able to. I thought it will be a poster presentation, so the direct presentation is a little difficult. He said, no, I can give you one opportunity. Your paper may be the last paper. You prepare, you sit and observe the conference for 3-4 hours, and then you grab courage, and you have to go and present the paper. So this was the first experience for me, where I was not even prepared to speak in the conference, but only thing, the courage what I had is I had done some work. So that was the conference I had. So I was just observing the conference like how it was going on. Because this is one thing which people don't do. Once their paper gets presented, they'll just leave the room and they may be planning for something else for the remaining of the day. When you get an OD from your college or from a company or from your guide or something, like you like to spend your time after presenting your paper. I don't know how many of you will have utilize the platform or utilize the opportunity in the conference gathering where you can learn a lot. Rather than you presenting something, you have to observe what others are presenting, where you can grasp a lot of ideas. So from that moment, I was pushed into water, like I have to swim. That was the situation. So I sat there, observed what was done by others, how they present, how they start the presentation, how they make the presentation bullets. Because many people make a mistake even in symposium or any PPT you prepare, like they put everything in the form of sentences. The entire slide will be full of words. So I used to feel like, it was totally different when I saw the international conference presentations. It was only bullets, visuals, it was having graphical representations, pictorial representations, which was very easy for me to grasp. So this is one thing which makes people at ease to see your presentations and your work, rather than putting everything on the slides, and it makes you, gives you a pressure to your brain to store it. I think it will be a compulsion given to your brain rather than storing it happily in your subconscious mind. So it was just something like it was directly getting into my subconscious mind, feeling like, yes, I cannot forget it anymore when I see it pictorially, when I see something which is a video or which is something like a graph or a bar chart or some results. So this is how the entire session went on, and when my presentation came, I was very confident. I thought like I should not put my gate down, like he has done so much for me, and very confident I was able to present, and luckily I got the best paper presentation award also on that day. So this was the first experience, but that was my best experience, which helped me to proceed further because that created that hunger in me, like I need to learn more. So then I started attending conferences like forcefully. Like I told my kid, no, I'm going to start learning more on it, like more technically, discuss more technically with the colleagues whoever is going to present the paper. So there I started getting a lot of contacts. This is one thing which gained my research work. Actually, my research work was the cancer detection, automated cancer detection, where it involved different disciplines, be it mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, biomedical, because it's a cancer detection, I need to work on biosignals. So I need to have an automatic drug delivery system. So I need to have mechanical in it. I need to have sensors. I need to have stepper motors where electrical comes into picture. I need to write programs. I need computer science. So it was all in one. Like I need to know about everything. Whatever I need in my research work, I need to know in and out of it. So for which I need to interact with people who have this knowledge. Actually, even here we have arranged the conference in such a way that you have the sessions going on parallelly. You will be observing that the electronics will be in one area, and electrical, mechanical, civil, humanities, where you need to know the mathematical concepts. Because why we have introduced the humanities program also along with this is every engineer needs to be strong in this mathematical concepts. Like when you come out with a derivation, you come out with an equation, because when you do a research, you have to come out with something. So you need to have a proper mathematical background for that, where you will be having mathematical papers getting presented, where there also you can update your knowledge. So here is a wonderful opportunity throughout the day where you can choose your area of interest or the area which is going to be associated with your area and go and attend those conferences and get the details of what the papers are going to be presented or being presented, and understand what are all the latest innovations being done in that particular area. Because you will be sitting with some paper which has been published 5 years or 6 years back along with your literature survey, and by the time you finish your work, there will be a lot of advancements in the technology. So you need to get updated. This is what is the platform where you need to get updated. If you take a biomedical engineering, you know how they are involved in health services. They need to, we are dependent actually, even the doctors are dependent on the instruments being developed by the biomedical engineers. So it is a cost of a life. So they need to improve the quality of instruments. So you can just attend the biomedical symposium where they can update you about what are all the advancements going on in the biomedical engineering and what are all the latest instruments or the equipments being developed, and they need to know how to make it quality based. Because there are a lot of things they are bringing out in robotics also. Like they're making robotic surgery, they're making everything automatic. Even robotic health checkups are coming, because the proportion, if you see the patients and the doctor, I mean, we are in short of doctors. So a lot of places they have made it automatic, where even the biomedical engineers are developing robotic surgeries and robotic health checkups, regular health checkups. So all these informations will be very, very helpful. If you come to EC, I've seen the wireless charger, I mean the mobile phones or your laptops or anything, whatever it may be. The latest technology using the resonance theorem, they've used that wireless charger research has been going on. It's very interesting actually, even for medical field, you know, like you can use that wireless charger. And coming to EEE, you know very well how the smart grids and the renewable energy resources work. And you can see how you can use the natural resources like solar cells or hydroelectric power and different types of how to conserve power, like how to save power. All these things you will have a lot of techniques like where it will help you. Similarly, if you come to mechanical, we've been discussing about the carbon nanotubes. You know, the carbon nanotubes have very peculiar, very interesting properties, mechanical and electrical properties, which gives a lot of stability. So this is being used as part of integration in your structures, mechanical structures, where it can control your vibrations. So a lot of things, nanotechnology, you know, it is the latest, and you will think it is an electronic subject, but even in mechanical, when you construct develop an equipment, it will be useful for you. So all these areas you can focus and know about the positives of that and how it can be integrated in your level. Similarly, in civil, we have a lot of things coming up, because like medical doctors, you know, like we feel even the civil engineers are also doctors or life-saving people. We can call them as the life-saving people, because all our structures and environment, especially the environment, is to be protected, and this has to be taken care by the civil engineers. I think a lot of updations are coming in civil engineering. We had a session on total workstation for our students, where it is again integrated with electronic embedded system. Like you can even leave it automated, You can leave it like a remote control where the total workstation works for the surveying and construction work. Somebody can monitor from remote places, and you don't have to have an assistant there doing the work of surveying or construction work. And also in IoTs, if you take the tremendous applications on IoTs, yeah, there is no place you can leave when you talk about IoTs. Especially, I was very much impressed with the application of IoTs in civil engineering, because we used to discuss about that, and we had huge good monuments, like it cannot be constructed again. The one which has been created by our ancestors and all have to be protected. So using IoTs, you know how it works. It needs your embedded system, it needs your networking, it needs your sensors. So again here electronics, communication, and the computer science comes into picture, electrical comes into picture. So you can check the vibration level or the sustainable level of the building and the strength of the building from remote places. So this type of IoT applications, you know, tremendous applications. And again, people talk about big data in CSC. I think a big man sitting here who is working on big data, the chief guest is specialized in big data and the data analytics. I think he will be able to throw you a lot of light on that. Actually handling big data, people think that it is storing big data, but handling the data is very, very essential. How it can be made more comfortable for the customers who use it. So like this, different fields have different things. Like we were interacting with one of the civil person, guest lecturer who came. Like he said, the software companies is not possible if we don't give them a room. They said, no, I don't really need a room. I can even sit in the road and do my work. He said, even the road is laid by civil engineers. So this is how, like, every technical thing you take, you know, like it is an integration of every discipline. So you cannot neglect one and feel, even when you are studying in the core department, you cannot say that it is not my core subject. There is no need for me to study this particular thing. But when you start working, doing some research, when you are seeing the application part, you have to have. Actually, the teamwork, people feel that teamwork is something like you should have a coordination among the team, and if you have a software engineering a project, like you should work together. But for me, a teamwork is if you're going to work on a particular project and if different disciplines are there, then you should be able to communicate better and you should be able to understand their knowledge, because one can be expert in one, the other can be an expert in other technologies. So you should have an integration, and that team generation is the biggest teamwork. So now everything is technology. As I said, like robotic has become a common word everywhere. Like they don't want any human. Everything is going to work with robots. But we should also have some human relations, which has been dying down a lot. There was one boy, he met his grandfather. He was asking, like, how grandpa, how you were living those days without mobile phones, without WhatsApp, without FBs and all. So he kept quiet for some time and then said, how you people are behaving, how you people are living without a human relation, without understanding, without touching each other, without looking into each other's eyes. You are able to survive with technology, you are able to survive with machines. We were able to survive with humans without machines. So this is what was the answer for the child. This is what is happening. We are getting addicted with a lot of automated things and mobile phones and other technologies, whatever has been developed by ourselves. But still, we need to remember that human relation is also very, very essential for living your life. So have a happy day here, have a wonderful day, have a successful day. Go out with something like you have learned something today. This is what is the ultimate aim of you all coming here and we all arranging this conference. God bless you all. Thank you. All the best.